Hey, remember when we were down 10.5 games behind the Red Sox? Nope. On your left. Yankees are back. We're doing the damn thing. Welcome back to the Boys at 161st Street, episode 156. Episode 161 is fastly approaching. And I don't know what we're going to do yet for it, but we're going to do something big. Yankees are they're just having a bunch of fun. 7 games in a row. I mean, we're gonna talk about the double sweep of the doubleheader sweep as well as the sweep against the Red Sox. I'm having a blast. Andrew Velasquez is just the best thing since sliced bread, and Gleyber Torres may have some company on his left. So, how are we doing, boys? I am excited. We have a loaded show for you today, and a full house. So Murphy, whoop, whoop. Chandler, and Damon all here. So. Like we promised.
Murphy actually figured out his shit. My man's got some technology now.
Yes,
sir. Got a computer, a camera, the whole 9.
Got it all.
The boys are
also,
bopping.
I would like to say one thing, that 3 of us will be celebrating the 161st episode. The other one is on a 75-day diet where they cannot do fun things.
He'll be here. He just won't be enjoying it.
I'll be here. I'll be doing a damn thing. For those who are tuning in and know of it, I'm doing what's called the 75 hard, and that's no alcohol for 75 days. And I'm just trying to see if I can do it. Maybe I'll be broken by then. Who knows? But for the time being, I won't partake in the drinking aspect of that show. But I will be there, and
you're gonna be wasted off kale smoothies.
So before we get going, I wanted to get one last thing out there. We asked you guys to give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Just swipe up if you think we deserve it. You're on the app. We asked for 250 and I would eat a baseball. We didn't quite hit the mark, so why don't we run that back? And if we get 263, I'll be nice. If we get 263 by the next episode on Tuesday, I will eat a baseball live. And who wouldn't want to see that? So go ahead and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Doesn't even have to be written, but we would appreciate it. So got a few nice written ones in there last episode, and we really feel good about those. Those really make us smile. I was actually on my walk this morning, and I just read one of the last reviews, and it was just like, wow, brought a smile to my face. So
baseball.
Yeah, Yankees. You know what didn't bring a smile to somebody's face is when Anthony Rizzo was brought to the Yankees on Luke Voigt's face. He did not have a smile, and he's been outspoken about the situation. Obviously, this is kind of old news in terms of Rizzo coming on the Yankees, and we knew it had implications with Voit. They were obviously talking about dealing him. They couldn't find a suitor. I'm happy that he's here. Who knows if Rizzo's happy that he's here?
I wouldn't say it's really old. I mean,
it's not old news, but because it's been drummed up again. So before we get into it, I'll play the video of Luke Voit saying his words, because instead of just paraphrasing, we can just play that. Got that queued up. Let's see if this will work.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hitting my stride, after, getting a week's worth of games under me. And, I was top 10 MVP last year, and I've been a great player for this organization for the last 3 years. And, I'm not going down. I want to play. Obviously, I know it's going to be tougher with Rizzo, but, I deserve to play just as much as he does. And, I led the league in home runs last year, and I feel really good again. And obviously, the injury bug is the reason he's here, because of me. But, obviously, I hope Booney can do whatever he can to, try to get me some consistent at-bats.
So I have a few initial questions that I want to bring up with those comments. One, I personally just want to react to that. I have no problem with him saying that whatsoever. I saw some people saying that he should be benched on Twitter. That's just the most preposterous thing in the world. He has the right to be pissed off. Do I think he needed to? See, a lot of people are on two sides of this other thing too, about him reading out his resume, saying I was a top 10 MVP, I led the league in home runs. A lot of people think like, oh, okay, dude, like Mark DeRosa didn't want him to read out his resume, but I was like, I mean, the man needs to remind people, because he was these amazing things. He's one of the guys who carried the team for the last 2 years. Basically, since he was brought onto the team from the Cardinals, he's been nothing but fantastic for this team. And in the last 5 games, he is batting .351 with 5 home runs and 1.127 OPS. So like it's not like he's playing bad. And he did acknowledge the fact that it was due to the injury bug. So I think it was a perfect thing that he said. And obviously he's frustrated. He said mentally he was in a bad place after the trade, which I think anybody would be, because that's basically saying, hey, we want somebody else. You're not doing it.
I don't blame him though, but also on the flip side of that, I don't think he has that much. Look, I'm on his side. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, long term, he's still the first baseman. Rizzo's contract's up at the end of the year. Yeah, it may have been the injury bug that brought him there, or maybe it was the playoff push, or maybe a combination thereof, which is the most likely scenario. But at the end of the day, they're gonna both get at bats, and Luke Voigt is still the first baseman of this team in 2022, and for the next 4 years. They're not going to extend Rizzo. So, like, don't get your hopes up now. That's not happening. He's not going to sign back with them. I've already put that out of my mind.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say.
For
I wouldn't say.
sure, but-
For
Did you
sure
see?
not.
No. Did you see the Cashman comments on it? That like the week after, like, yeah, we'll definitely have to look into it.
That's
like
just-
financially
well,
speaking.
What else are you gonna say? That you can't say yes or can't say that. That's literally the exact thing
Exactly.
you say just to
No.
not answer the
Not
question.
the point. This isn't
Yeah, that's not the
relevant until
conversation.
after
I'm just saying I don't have a problem with him saying it because yeah, he's still a big part of this team, and if that's how he feels, then fucking say it. That's one thing. Like it, love it. All we do is beg for your Yankee players to be, and coaches, management, everything to be honest. And now he's honest, and you get pissed off at him. Like, no,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like that's all we ever ask for is quit lying to us, quit giving us the bullshit. Just like picture answer that makes everybody happy. Be fucking honest. And he was honest. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, like I don't even know why people are so surprised. Like that is exactly what should be going through his head right now. It's exactly what probably everybody else was thinking about the situation. So I don't know why it's such like a culture shock to be like, oh my god, what? Why is he saying
No,
that?
it's
on
obvious
TV?
why
Like,
he
I
would
mean,
be
it's
mad.
obvious that
Yeah.
the very reason that we're talking about it shows that it was a little bit contentious and a little bit out of the ordinary for somebody to, list off their accolades like that and say, oh, this guy got brought in because of the injury bug. And,
which is true.
probably true. It is true. And you know what? I think it's doing kind of a good thing for both of them because all of this year, Rizzo hasn't played much better than he has since he's been a Yankee, and Voit hasn't played much better than he has since Rizzo's been a Yankee. So it's bringing out the best in both of them.
Yeah,
at
it's
this
like
point.
that. It's
That
like that
was-
internal team competition that we kind of needed. Like
Yeah.
everyone was a
We
little
got
too,
no problem with that.
everyone was a little too comfortable when we had
Yeah.
every single position was wide open because there was all these injuries. People weren't hitting the fucking ball. Like literally anybody could play anywhere. But now we got some guys who are playing out of their minds.
Exactly.
And-
Gittins wasn't
yeah.
giving him a run for his money, so they brought in Rizzo. Good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Let the competition happen.
We actually mentioned this on episodes prior during the free fall when we were like 41 around 4th of July area. I remember specifically Chandler, we made a clip out of this too, and he said, like, what is this sense of entitlement that the team had? Like, and like you said about their jobs, the security and all that, everybody felt like they were just, they had the right to be on the team, and they kind of did because, like you said, Chris Gittins wasn't going to light the fire under them. Jay Bruce wasn't going to light the fire under them and take their jobs.
Easy.
He's the Sunmeister. And for those who
Poor
are
Bruce,
tuning
man.
in and wondering what we're going to do about the Sun today, the Sun arrangements are on a once a week basis after Hot or Not. So we will address the Sun on the Tuesday episode. So nothing about that right now. But back on that, it's like I think there was two ways this could have gone, and I'm glad it's Voigt's getting his comments out there, and that's fine. Rizzo, I feel like is handling it well. We saw them talking in the dugout. They were buddy. Looked like the picture of Step Brothers that Chandler posted, but it's just I'm glad it's seeming to go in this direction. This could have gone very south very fast. Either one of them could have spun this in a negative light or received, like Rizzo could have received Voigt's comments in a negative way. He could have been like, oh, he's clearly like throwing shade at me, saying that he should start over me. He wasn't quite saying I should start over him. He's saying I deserve playing time wherever that may be. I hope Boone gets me consistent at bats. And this all boils down to the same fact that we've been talking about for the longest time. And if you're listening to this show for the first time, you probably are on the same page as us too. And that's obviously that Stanton needs to play the field. And that's something we've talked about all year long. And it's starting to happen. Again, tonight was not a NL matchup. So that's usually when that's like the Miami series. The first time he played the field, that was because of we lose the DH, and like that's a double whammy. That's why he was forced to play the field. But today was an
Is he gonna
AL
play the
matchup.
field?
Today was an AL matchup, and he still played the field, which is nice to see. And it's just, we've said it before, and I'll put one last thing on this to put a pin in this conversation, unless you guys have anything else to say about it. Stanton needs to play the field, and if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. That's you can't play scared, and we've said that countless times.
I
Do you
have one
think
thing
he's
to
a lo-
add. Sorry,
one.
Murphy.
There
I have
you
one
go,
thing
guys.
to add real quick is that Stanton playing the field, obviously, we've kind of speculated about it, improves his batting. He is a fucking behemoth of a man. You
Yeah.
cannot have a guy that big and that strong just swinging cold. It makes so much sense. And he's produced since he's been in the field. Since they put him in the field, he's hitting like 333. He's hit 4 or 5 home runs. And you're just like, this is exactly what you want and exactly what you need. If he gets hurt, like you said, so be it. But this team is at its best when he's in the field. When you have him, Luke, and Rizzo all in the lineup and all those bats in the lineup, that's when this team's at its best. You have to find a way to make it work. Luke is spot on. He needs his at-bats.
Yep.
There's just no way with the way that this lineup and this team is configured that he should be out of at-bats.
And you notice this is an obvious thing that everybody knows around baseball too, and you notice it with guys like Tyler Wade. Guy's getting consistent at bats, and he's starting to at least uptick a little bit in his a lot of bit in his batting average. We don't know if it's smoke or fire or whatever the fuck it is, but when people get consistent at bats, they play better. That's obvious. So we can't have Voit get sporadic at bats and then be pissed at him when he gets those sporadic at bats and he's not doing amazing because he's not getting consistent reps. So I think the perfect lineup, the perfect Yankee lineup is obviously with Stanton playing left or right. He was playing right tonight, but left or right. And this is my version of the perfect lineup. We were chatting about it in our Let's Go Yanks chat, but I think it's DJ at second base leading off, Rizzo first base, Judge right field, Gallo center field, Stanton left field, Voit DHing, Gio third base, Gary catching, Gleyber shortstop. It's kind of wild that Gleyber's playing shortstop, batting 9. It's not that wild considering how he's been playing this year, but like we know Gleyber's better than that, and hopefully he can turn it around. And if he can't, Velasquez would love to have that spot, but he's obviously not. That's neither here nor there. People are talking about Velasquez taking his job, and that's just not going to happen.
I was just gonna mention, I have a good friend of mine who I talk a lot of Yankees with, and he texted me today, and it was a genuine question whether I thought Velasquez was going to stick around when Gleyber comes back, or whether he's going to get shipped back down and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
you just can't do that.
I
It's
said
just not gonna happen.
I said yeah, there's no way to keep him. I wish they would at this point a little bit just to see, but they won't.
No, there's no way.
There's
Gleyber
no
is
way.
like Gleyber's a 24-year-old that has had borderline superstar pedigree in his past at 24. So there's just no way. That's supposed to be one of your franchise cornerstones. You're not going to send him down. And before he got hurt, he was hitting like out of his fucking mind. That was when he was on his like 350 stretch over the last month and was hitting home runs again and all that fun jazz that we like to see out of baseball players.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we should just address that right now because Velasquez has obviously been awesome, and we kind of already addressed it just now, but I just don't see what his role. Like, I fucking love this dude. He's a switch hitting, lightning fast guy. His batting average isn't as high as as high as it feels because he's just getting big hits. It's kind of like the Odor effect, where every hit he does get, he'll bat 200, but he will get a big hit in the spot you need, so you remember that. But I mean, dude's just electric. He's a switch hitter. He plays damn good defense. That play he made when it got past Odor and he just fucking sent it to first base. Rizzo also made an amazing play. That's just what you get out of a platinum glove first baseman, which you don't get out of Luke Voit, which is the obvious thing there too, to tie it back full circle to that conversation, is that's why Rizzo's going to start at first base and Voit has to be the DH. Back to the Velasquez thing. I think we all are. I don't think any of us disagree with the fact that he doesn't really have a place in this team because
here's the question.
Especially with Tyler Wade playing so well too. Tyler Wade's got a 26-man locked up. Maybe on the expanded roster for the playoffs, he can sneak in there as a pinch runner, fielder, pinch runner, and a defensive replacement guy. But I don't know.
So when the lineup's at full strength and we have the lineup you just said, perfect lineup, whatever it may be, who are the bench spots that are gonna be filled up? Tyler Wade's gonna be one of them. Odor's gonna be one of them. Gardy is gonna be the other one. Is that it? Then
How many bench spots do you get?
Higgy.
And then Higgy.
Yeah. And
How
then
many bench
Higgy,
spots
and
do you
then
get?
Well, it depends how many people you have in the
As
bullpen.
many as
We're
you
gonna
want,
have
theoretically.
4.
You say theoretically you could have 14 and then
Yeah, so
2 pitchers, but
possibly when the playoffs come, he could have a spot, but then you have
Well, the playoffs expand to what?
they don't expand.
So it expands before the playoffs, and then
Yeah.
you still get 26.
Oh, you're
for
right.
the
Yeah,
playoffs.
September.
26.
So
But then you can also go into each series with a different roster.
that's yeah. So you have
So,
He's,
like,
he's
that's
not
how
going
it
to be on the
is.
playoff
Yeah.
roster. He's not going to be a playoff roster regardless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
he's
what he
not.
does.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he hits 1,000 the rest of the season. Velasquez is not, and he shouldn't. No offense to him, he's been awesome, but he will not and he should not be on the playoff roster. Just
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a
Unless some
here's the thing though. It's kind of one of those things where it's Greg. It's kind of a Greg Allen thing, right? Greg Allen was electric for a few weeks, and he was kind of like the star of the Yankees for a little while. He was like the walking highlight reel, coming up big moments, couldn't get out, and then he kind of like fell off a little bit.
No, he didn't. He just
Yes,
got
he
sent
did.
down. He never.
no, he didn't
fell off.
really fall off.
He
I
fell-
mean,
he
he
was-
fell off from like 500.
All right,
I
but
think-
he
I
also,
think his
like-
Yankee batting average is still like 300.
I don't think so, but he also he couldn't hit a breaking ball to save his life. He was only hitting fastballs, so that's a big.
All right, Scout.
Whatever. I'm just saying facts right now. Anyway, I just feel like obviously it's an awesome story. If you don't like that story, then you don't like baseball. You don't like the Yankees. But
Greg Allen's
it's clear.
batting average on the Yankees is 270. He didn't fall off.
He was batting like 500, and
My
then he came back.
favorite thing in the world is proving Damon wrong.
That was not proving me wrong.
I mean,
500.
He went
Going
from
down
batting.
from
He went from
500
batting
is not falling off.
400 for
I mean,
like
that's
2
obvious.
weeks.
He didn't fall off. I mean, he's 270 is the 4th best batting average on the
Right,
Yankees.
but that's now you're great. Now you're an average hitter.
Behind
Okay,
Tyler Wade.
Great.
Well, I
Tyler
guess
Wade's 275 this year.
would you say that Ted Williams fell off on the seasons he didn't hit 400?
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me right now?
So to round out this conversation, I think we should move on
Greg
from this.
Allen
we
equals
kind
Ted
of
Williams.
derailed this conversation, but I as much as I fucking love Velasquez, I just don't see him having a place until like when Gio comes back and Rizzo just came back. So when Gio comes back, I think he's the odd man out right then.
Well, last thing I'll say about just like the roster, and then we all talked about Luke Voigt and Rizzo, is that we really haven't seen a game yet where we've had like conflict of interest in terms of Voigt over Rizzo or Rizzo over Voigt, because they both haven't been in the lineup healthy without someone else getting an off day where they go play a DH role.
And last thing on that too is I just don't want to see a game where Voigt like tomorrow if Voigt is not in the lineup, I'm going to be like very
Me too,
upset.
'cause here's
there's
the
no
thing.
reason not to put him in the lineup.
We have 42, 43 games left, and we're getting down to the wire, right? We're going into the playoffs, and this is really where, we solidify who's going to be on the playoff roster. What's the playoff lineup going to look like, right? And if we're going into a 7-game series, there's not going to be scheduled off days. We need to see the best lineup out there every single day. And Stanton needs to get more reps in the outfield to be able to play.
He needs to build up to that.
He needs to be able to play more outfield to be able to be a good outfielder in the playoffs. He needs these 42 games to do that. And
I think he needs to play every single one.
He needs to play like 80% of the games in outfield.
And not only building up Stanton, that's like that matters, yes.
And that gets
But
consistent
I think
at bats
the
for everybody
main-
else.
That too, but I think the main reason why you should always have Voigt in the DH spot is because we're trying to make the playoffs. So
yeah, we need to get there first.
See the best team out there and the best lineup out there, and if we don't have Luke Voigt in there and Rizzo and Stanton, that's our best shot. That lineup that I just read out, as soon as Gio comes back and Glaber comes back, that lineup is a reality. And I hope that reality gets slated in every single day. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because the Yankees always tend to, not really prioritize winning. They prioritize rest, which I think at a certain point, at the point we're at now,
it's now.
We're playing fantastic baseball. We're 23-8 since like July 14th or whatever the hell it was since the deadline. But this is not the time to prioritize rest. We are in the playoffs right now if we were to end today. I don't want to see that slip because then that's going to fucking suck. And then if we have to climb back in, I want to just put the foot on the gas and go for the AL East, because I think that's a reality that can happen. The Rays are just continuing to win. Granted, right now they're playing the Orioles, so we'll
The
see what
Orioles are
happens with that.
fucking useless, by the way.
They might be the worst team
It's so-
ever.
dude,
Is it like
it's
18
so-
games in a row they've
It's
lost?
16 or 15.
16, they have a minus 220 something run differential. Like, that's just embarrassing. If you're that
Yeah.
bad, you should be relegated. That way they can at least try and field a competitive team, because that's just that's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, the Rays are going to keep winning. I think we need to just keep up this pace to even give it a chance there. But like, regardless of the AL East, which I do think is a possibility, we can get into that later because I think we have a rounding third on that. We just need to make an enormous cushion for the wild card, because there are teams right behind us. The Blue Jays, you're talking about run differential. The Blue Jays run differential is like 180, and they have nasty players on their team. A positive 180, that is. They're positive 120 something. It's good. They're a good team. They're kind of like free falling right now, but as well as the Red Sox. But like, these teams can turn it around just as fast as we have.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tight race still. We literally just got to the point where we have a playoff spot. There's a lot of work that we need to do in terms of cushion and, like you said, the AL East.
All we have to do is
Murphy
get. We have to. All we have to
Murphy,
do is
you're
gain
muted.
2 games. Gain 2 games between now and October, because then we finish the season on a 3-game stretch. So get within 2.
Murphy, you want to
I
say
think
something?
no, I
Just kept
was
talking.
I realized that my air conditioner was on, so I like muted myself to go turn it off and then didn't realize. But either way, I think it's less about creating cushion between us and the rest of the AL East and more about chasing down the Rays, because it's so within reach, and I would much rather have the position to play a 3 or 5 game series rather than having it all lie on one wild card game.
I mean, yeah, of course.
You can win the
Yeah.
wild card by 6 games and it doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
Agreed.
So win the division.
I also just feel weird about the wild card. We had the 2 awesome wins over the Twins and the A's. Like, I don't have a good gut feeling about the wild card. Give me the East.
We've done too well in the wild card recently.
Exactly. It
Like-
feels like it's
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
know what
So-
you
And
mean.
I want to blow in the 9th.
I also I don't want to
Oh,
blow
God.
Cole going into the ALCS. So
Yeah. While we're on the topic of wild card, this is on the list of things to talk about, but I feel like it's a good segue. So, just you guys talking about wild card made me remember that, like, when I think wild card, I think of the Judge home run, and I think of Sevy getting
How do you
pulled
not think
early.
of Didi?
Okay,
Didi
yes,
too.
that
But
too.
we were
but,
at
like,
the
first
Judge
thing,
game.
First thing that comes to memory is the Judge game, and that was also Sevy pitching, and he didn't really do too hot. And I
Dude,
just
what
think-
do you talk? Okay. I would like to put my foot down on this once and for all. Stop saying he didn't do too hot in that game. He went 4+ innings, gave up 0 runs, and struck out like 8.
Okay, but you and I both know
was
if
an
you were
ugly,
watching that
ugly
game, it was
four-inning.
not the same. It was bases loaded, and he swiggled out of every single jam, and it
He
looked
swig-
the
What
stat
are the
line
keywords? Swiggled out.
barely. Okay, whatever. Then I'm
It
How
was
many
a
runs?
stressful forward.
It was he loaded the bases pretty much
It
every
doesn't
inning.
matter.
The
He
stat
he-
line
know it
does
doesn't
not
matter.
show what happened that game. He got lucky
did-
a little bit. So
I don't
okay,
care.
then we refer to the other one where he got pulled after 1 out. So
Okay.
that one I'll refer to now. I'm just saying, when I think of the playoffs, this wasn't a time to talk about Sevy being bad in the playoffs. This is a time to bring up his name because we have news about him, and that's what I thought about when I heard wild card. Sorry for the segue, jackass. So
It's okay.
this one, so we get news about Sevy, and there's no structural damage, which is a good sign. But I think, to be honest, I think nevertheless that this is a good sign. I think this all but guarantees that if he does come back this year, which I'm still not convinced he is going to do, I think he is not going to be a starter, and I think that's pretty obvious. I think he'll be out of the bullpen, and that's honestly fine with the resurgence, or not resurgence, with the coming out party that Luis Heel has been doing. So
Do you really think they'll give Heel a rotation spot in the playoffs, though?
I think with the
if he keeps
vacancy
letting up
of
no
I think with the
runs.
vacancy of Sevy going to the bullpen probably, and
What about
Kluber can't find the zone right now, and who knows what's going on with him. So I'm gonna operate under the assumption that those two aren't really gonna pitch, and if they do, they're both coming off injury and don't have time to build up, and they'll be out of the bullpen.
I
Same
just
with
don't
Domingo
think,
as well. So
No, I just don't think that I agree. He probably, at this point, if I was building it, I would put him there. I'm just saying I don't think the front office has the balls to do that. I think you got Cole, Tyone as your 1-2, obviously, and then some combination of Montgomery, who's probably your 3, honestly, and then some combination of Montgomery, Kluber, Nestor, and then if you do Nestor, you're going to have that bullpen game of Nestor, then Sevy, then
I think you
whoever
do a
else.
heel Nestor game.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if you're
I don't
gonna
know.
do a
Don't
Nestor and
horn
then
me
go
up
right to
now.
Sevy, you might as well just start Sevy. I feel like.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like, I mean, limit him to 4 innings or
It's
something.
pick your
but, like,
poison. He's going to go 4
he's a
wherever
vet.
it is.
It's not like starting is gonna get in his head because he hasn't pitched in a while. Like,
Listen, having him back is going to be a fantastic thing if we do have him back. I just don't think he'll be a starter, but especially because when you look at the guys who have been getting constant run this year, they're guys like Nestor who goes literally 100 pitches now. He's a full-blown starter now, which is wild. This is a reality that it is becoming less and less of a joke, the nasty Nestor stuff. He's just a tough guy to hit against this year.
Did you see the whole
I feel
team
like he's-
wearing nasty Nestor t-shirts today?
Yeah, those are better than our nasty Nestor t-shirt. Those are cool.
Much better.
I want to buy
They were
that shirt.
badass.
I'm gonna
I
buy
also-
that shirt.
I feel like his like luck is gonna run out, but I don't think it's gonna be this year.
I don't think
Like
so.
a guy like that's like that goofy. Like eventually, I feel like he gets figured out.
I think
Right?
quite the opposite. Other people are starting to do it. Did you see Wandy tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wandy did that before, but he was starting to do a little bit of a leg
I don't
lift,
know, like-
extended leg lift, and then a quick pitch, and then it's just people are doing it. People are talking.
I mean, I hope it works. Obviously, I'm not that convinced that it will for very long.
I think Nestor Cortez could have the same impact on the game of baseball that Moneyball had to the game of baseball. He's the first. He was the first to do it. He was the first to do it.
He's not the first to do it. I mean,
He was the first to perfect it. He's the
No,
first
he
to
was.
perfect.
Johnny
Cueto
Cueto
did
really
How
made a
about
living
zero
out of it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And how about
Johnny
that guy like
Cueto
2
got
years
$100
ago who
million
hopped like 6
doing it.
feet and then
Yeah.
threw?
Hey, one person at a time. This is a podcast.
Well,
Johnny Cueto
you said-
did it.
You said something.
Stroman's
silly,
been
so-
doing it forever. He's not the first time.
He's not the first one.
Well, he's doing it out of necessity. So there's that.
Whatever
Johnny.
works.
It was
Necessity.
sink or swim. So
He swam.
he's swimming. So I genuinely, and to get us back on track a little bit, I genuinely think that he will be pitching in multiple playoff games. I would
Agreed.
and I would
Oh,
be
100%.
confident, and I would be very confident with him going
Yeah.
out there. If we were to rank a trust tree, just like I say with the Luke test offensively, I guess it works for pitchers as well. So like with the Luke test, it's just basically a confidence test.
We've done this.
I would be most confident in obviously Cole. I think Tyone at this point, even after this, like he pitched well tonight up until the end. Cole, then Tyone, probably Montgomery after that, and then I'd probably go Nestor.
Me too.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah.
No, I'm cool with it.
Spot on.
Maybe those are guys who are going to eat more innings, and then I would probably obviously go like the Loizagas of the world. Which let's get into Loizaga because that game, I could have sworn Damon said it too in our group chat. Like I thought we were for sure going to blow it.
100%.
I was in Central Park just walking around, and I had John and Susan in my ear, and then I heard it was going south fast, so I just threw on the Yes app and I started watching. And this dude, I don't know how big your balls have to be to get out of that, but that was honestly unbelievable. And if I'm not mistaken, he struck out all 3 after being behind in the count after loading the fucking bases up.
I believe so. Yeah.
Just absolutely electric factory out of him. And he showed it too. And he's not somebody who usually shows emotion. That was so cool to watch. That was one of the top moments, I think, this season watching the Yankees.
Dude, that was the 100-mile-per-hour sinkers. Good fucking luck. Good
That
luck.
was a
I don't know.
sinker?
Yeah.
No.
All of his.
No.
All of his. He throws a sinker. That's his main fastball.
It
That's
was
like
coming
all
up
that.
as a
No, but
sinker
the
on the.
strikeout pitch was a sinker.
I'm pretty sure it was
I would
when I
bet
saw it.
my life on it.
All right.
Or that or the TV
Yeah,
was
like
messed
you
up.
said, good.
Can I
fucking
have
luck.
an impromptu Sun thing? And I just want to send Jared Carabas to the Sun because fuck you. I'm tired of
wanna-
hearing about the 7-inning games.
Do you
Fuck
want to
that
do you
guy.
want to play a little bit of his little rant that we posted? I have it
Of
queued
him
up.
just crying?
Yeah, let's play a little bit of that.
State of the nation. The Yankees have swept the Boston Red Sox. 2 of the games were only 7 innings. So it is what it is there. They had Andrew Heaney on the mound, who is terrible. And the Red Sox made him look like a Cy Young pitcher. They did the most offense was in the 9th against Chapman, and that doesn't even count because he fucking sucks. The defense was bad. The bullpen was bad. I mean, the offense was, I don't even think pathetic is the right word. It's a combination of pathetic and pitiful. It was bad.
That's enough out of him. But I thought that was just, he just keeps going for like 4 more minutes, by the way. And I saw that this morning, and I was just laughing my ass off. I had to post that to our account. But
one quick thing, I've never loved 7-inning games more in my entire life.
I still don't like them, but
I hate them. But I loved them yesterday.
Dude, it's so funny.
Whatever.
Because if it was the other way around, the most unbiased baseball reporter ever, Jared Carrabis, would be all over it.
We are losing those games if they're 9 innings. I'm pretty.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Damon,
I'm pretty confident.
We might split, but I don't think we lose both.
I don't think we win both of them if they're 9 innings.
I think we would.
I do. I think the way we're playing right now, we do.
I think to wrap up the Jared Carrabis conversation, there's just 2 words that fit him perfectly, and that's cuck bitch.
Clip that part.
Clip it.
But he did bring up one topic, honestly. So another nice segue, if it's okay with you, Chandler. He
as
did
long
bring
as you
up
don't shit talk Sebi, yes.
Yeah, he did bring up the Andrew Heaney situation. So I did want to bring that up, and this, I guess we can address the Sun conversation here because I'm personally not going to take him off the Sun, so that ends it right there. So, and we're not going to come to. I think it's not even worth voting right now because I think we're all probably on the same boat. Like, yes, he pitched awesome. And I don't think that's enough considering he literally before that had 15 innings pitched and 15 runs allowed, 8 home runs allowed. So that is ridiculously bad. We talked about the leash. Some people have short leashes. They'll be back on the Sun soon, and some people can get off easier, being people like Britton who have a pedigree and can get off because they usually, that name shouldn't be on the Sun. His name is a Sun name. He should be on the Sun, and it's gonna take a little bit to get him off. I need to see one more. If he does that again, that same exact dominant performance, he's off. But if he has a mediocre performance, he's not off.
I said in the last podcast, I said that he needs to be voted off twice to be able to actually get off.
Yeah,
I must agree. I just no one game. No, that's just pure dog shit. The Red Sox. What were you saying, Murphy?
Sorry, you can finish.
No, I insist.
I was gonna say he needs as many good games as he had bad games for me to get him off the Sun. You can't just snip, snap, back and forth.
snip, snap,
snip, snap.
I wish I had that queued up.
Take your ERA under like fucking 15, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, like you can't. That's the thing. Like with the Sun, I like that we're doing it. You have to get everybody unanimously to vote because you can't just keep. There's only so much fuel on these ships going to and from the Sun.
He
can't just keep going back and forth. And I know he's going to go back.
Very economical.
We care about the environment here.
We care about the environment. We are an environmental friendly podcast.
So with that being said, the rest of the Sun conversation will come after Hot or Not on the Tuesday episode. But one last question on Heaney before we move on from him. Do you think it was more of the Red Sox sucking dick and making him look good, or do you think he actually was dealing and it didn't really matter who he was going up against for the most part?
I would love a sabermetric stat of Red Sox versus lefties, because we only threw lefties that game, and I don't know if that's something to do with it. Maybe there's some wild stat that Red Sox, their lineup is terrible against sidewinding lefties. I don't even know, but.
That's why they bought Chris Sale, so they don't have to face him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to discredit.
Are better against lefties than righties.
They are better.
64, 330, 433 is their slash line against lefties.
That was really quick that you got that up.
Thanks, Chandler. I love when I just talk and then stats come raining down on me.
Boom, there you go. You asked for them. I delivered.
So I guess in that case, I was going to say this before, but I don't want to discredit Heaney because he was doing.
Can you say people's names right?
No, I really can't. That's not. I'm not going to change it.
He just adds letters like where they don't belong.
Who spelled Velasquez wrong twice on Twitter the other day?
That was probably me.
Italian for like a month.
He said Italian. He's just said Heaney. Like, just be better.
Sorry. Whatever. I'm tired.
It's
midnight. Anyway, I'm just saying that I feel like it's more so the Red Sox sucking because they were not good for 3 games. So
I think they're just flat out bad.
Yeah.
Right now. Like
Well,
That's really what there is.
I think
Dude,
they.
Did you see
Tough
what
right
Nick
now.
Pivetta said after that game?
Can you read it?
The- Yeah, I will. Yeah, somebody say some sort of talking point. To
I just
fill
think
the
it
void
was.
of
I think it was also funny because I tuned into the Section 10 Instagram page today, and they posted something. I don't know. It wasn't Carabas. It was one of the other guys, and he was just like, "If you told me this is where the Red Sox would be right now at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't be as upset. It's just the way that we got here because like they weren't supposed to be this good of a team or the team that they were a month ago, and." If they just consistently were going at this pace, that's what he means he would be happy with. And I'm with that.
I mean,
I
same
think
with us.
I think this is where they should have been. This is we're almost where we should be, and I think I think we may hot take, maybe not that hot of a take. I think we may finish where we thought we were gonna finish by the end of the year.
Yankees win total coming into the season was 96.5. You take the over now.
What are we at now?
70.
70.
So what would we have to go for the rest of the way to hit that?
I think there's 40. What are there? 40 games left.
No, it's like 42 or something.
I don't know.
Then no,
We're
it's
all
not-
trying
it's
to do math
mathematically not
so hard
possible.
in our
then.
head right now.
That most definitely is mathematical.
Oh, that would be 102 if we went undefeated. No, I'm gonna take the under, but I think I think we could break 90.
All right, here's
I think we
Nick
could break
Pivetta's
90. Yeah,
comment.
that's like a little over 500.
Breaking, man.
You have to break 90. You're not making the postseason if you don't break 90. But here's Nick Pivetta's comments, who got absolutely just fucked yesterday. Went 1.2 innings. Like, that is the definition of a cuck bitch. I firmly believe in not giving people too much credit. You're going out and competing against them all the time. Yes, they have a good lineup. Yes, they have a good team, but we're better, and we're going to move forward.
That was the pitcher.
Yeah.
Could you read his
The
stat line
pitcher-
also?
Strong words from a guy that got slapped around.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, you went 1.2. You gave up 4 earned. You walked 3 batters, struck out 1, and gave up 4 hits.
Yeah, that's a
And I've
big
never heard of you.
statement from someone who we have no idea who he is. And
Hey, Nick, you
going
have a
to jail.
career. That was a lot going on. You have a
Yeah,
career
yeah, they just played both at the
5.17
same
ERA.
time.
Career 5.17 ERA. Talking about how he doesn't want to give people credit. I can see why, because nobody gives you credit because you fucking blow. So
he's just trying to get his name out there. That's it.
it's true. Well, in his defense, in his last 7, he does have a 5.35 ERA. So
I wonder
so
how
he's-
long
so
he's
he's
been on
good.
this one.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on with the Red Sox, son.
Yeah,
Want to get into some rounding thirds? We got a bunch of good ones. We got some good responses out of people. Yankees are hot in the
Valid
streets right now.
dicks.
People I think this is the most excited I've been watching this team. And I was saying to Damon
all
too.
year, yeah.
dude,
Imagine
they're
we just
fun.
Yeah, dude, imagine we just
how
snapped
fun?
off a 21 game win streak and just beat the Athletics win streak from 2002.
I actually
Didn't-
just
did
texted
they
my
do
friend
20 or
that
21?
no less than 5 minutes ago.
Me and Damon were chatting about that. I just looked it up, Murph. It was 20. And
All right, nobody watched Moneyball until we lose.
I
Again.
was about to turn Moneyball on, to be honest. Dude, I mean,
I've
just
got the book.
I was
imagine
gonna watch
how,
Moneyball every single day until we got to 20.
just imagine how fun that would
Well,
be.
either one.
I was saying to Damon
yeah,
too,
that'd
like,
be
just you,
electric.
but like you'd wake up every day around win number 11 through 15. I'd just wake up every day and I would just count down the seconds until I could watch them again. It'd just be that exciting. And
I'd probably have to quit my job so I could watch more often.
Yeah. So let's
Smart.
get into the rounding thirds. First rounding third comes to us from Jack Curry 12. Luis Gill will start a playoff game. Chandler, what do you think?
No.
Why?
I just don't. Like I said, I don't think the front office has the balls. I think he 100% deserves it. I don't think the front office has the balls to do it, though.
What's the rest of the room think?
I don't think he will start, but I do think he will pitch a good amount.
Murph?
I was gonna say it depends because people get hurt and people come back. And
No,
Biggest
I will. I
right?
will
Is that
not
what you're
say
gonna
the
say?
word. I will not say the word depends.
what were you're gonna say it, right?
It has to do with
I was gonna say. I was gonna say how long
Well,
can I
if
say the
Cooper and
depends, because
Sevy
I
are
really don't
coming
know.
back, then
Debbie started a playoff game in the last playoff.
that doesn't
correct?
count. That was the switcheroo with J Hap.
that didn't work.
That doesn't have to. Okay. Well, I was gonna say if he
That
did,
was also
then
the
maybe. But
COVID
I'm gonna say no.
postseason with 16 teams.
I'm also
So yeah, I'm
gonna-
gonna say no.
I'm also gonna say no, but if I were running the show right now, I don't know how. If he continues to pitch even remotely close to this, I don't know how you don't.
He's lit up 0 runs. I mean,
No, like even if he's like starts to, dude, he's just doing it. He's
He just
one of the
looks good. Man.
he's one of the few pitchers too that actually can put up starter innings, and not only starter innings and just eat. There's a difference between a guy who can eat innings, Andrew Heaney, and just put up shitty performances, and other guys like Luis Gil who can eat innings and play well. And if he doesn't even keep up this pace, I don't see a guy like Luis Gil with this kind of stuff get astronomically worse from here. I think even if he doesn't keep up this wild pace where he's allowing no runs, like a little bit worse than that is still fantastic. So I just can't see a guy with such electric stuff getting significantly worse. I just don't see it. Even at a young age, I don't get it.
But I mean, he's not even on the roster right now, and it's the end of August.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's in
actually-
Scranton now. Like he came up for that doubleheader, and now he's gone. So like I have a hard time believing that one of our postseason starters, barring any more injuries, is in Scranton.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to start. But also this brings up an interesting point too. All these starters that we're naming that are going to go to the bullpen, we're not going to carry that many true relievers on this team. Like guys like right now, what we're looking at the next 42 games or so, assuming we do make the playoffs and everything like that, like these guys are having a tryout right now, the bullpen arms, because you got to believe Domingo will go to the pen. You got to believe, and those are more valuable in the playoffs too, because you get extended reps, you get extended innings out of those people too. And Domingo's been good. He's been streaky this year. So when he comes back, assuming he does, he'll go to the pen. Heel will probably go to the pen. Sevy will go to the pen. Kluber, depending on what he can do. These guys aren't being built up enough. So at least for the first couple of rounds, at least, they're probably going to go out of the pen. So now you're just throwing names in the pen. Guys like Wandy, who have been pitching really well. Guys like Joely Rodriguez. Guys like these guys. We may not see these other relievers that have been doing pretty well with us on the team. I genuinely feel like we're going to only keep on like the mainstay relievers or the bigger name relievers. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, like,
don't think that's gonna happen.
I
But
don't
also,
either,
real
because-
quick, I think I might love Wandy Peralta now.
You got the you got the 161 bump after when you get brought off the sun. You just use your feet. You just play better.
It happened to Brett Gardner.
Happened to Brett Gardner. Immediately after Wandy gets pulled off the sun, he makes that wild play.
I mean, Tyler Wade's going off.
Tyler Wade's going off.
So, yeah, Tyler Wade.
We just know when to pull you off. We can read the room really well, and
Here's the thing about
That's why we can't bring off
going
Heaney
back
yet.
to the reliever point. Wandy and Rodriguez they're true relievers. You know, like they have like a specialty, like they're lefty. They have a weird arm angle, and they're like kind of like specialists that only pitch a few innings. You know, I truthfully, I don't know who would you rather coming out of a pen in a playoff game. Would you rather have a guy who is literally his job is to be a reliever in those situations, or have somebody like Kluber who's recovering from
it's
injury?
everybody's job. It's everybody's job to. I'd rather have Kluber than Joely Rodriguez, if that's your question.
Kluber, who is like trying to still get reps out of the bullpen.
This is assuming he's healthy.
I don't know. I don't think I
because
would.
he's
I think
Healthy,
I'd
it's a
rather.
no-brainer, but
I
Yeah,
don't
but I
think
feel like
so.
if he's
Kluber
healthy,
ever
he's not
thrown-
coming out of the pen.
Has
Yeah.
Kluber ever thrown a bullpen inning? It's
Exactly.
two
I don't
totally.
know. It's so different.
It's two totally
definitely
different
has
things.
on the Indians.
You're getting ready on short rest. You're trying to get ready in a hurry. Starters have like day-long pitching routines.
I
Like
think Corey
listen-
Kluber
listen
can
to-
figure it out.
listen to CC Sabathia talk about his pitching routine on the day of the game. I mean, the dude's eating the same fucking cereal every day. Like that is how down to a science these guys have it. The bullpen is a totally different game. Like, and Kluber is a great pitcher. He's had a great career. I mean, he's maybe a borderline Hall of Famer, probably not, but he'll at least be on the ballot. And he's not a bullpen guy. He's got a routine down that he's stuck to that's made him win multiple Cy Youngs. Throwing him out of that routine, baseball's a game of routine. It's a game of rhythm. And you talk about it with guys like Tyler Wade getting reps and getting at bats and consistent at bats. This guy's had a consistent thing that he's done for 10 plus years now, and you're throwing that out. You're throwing that out the window and expecting him to adopt a new routine on the biggest stage and thrive, I just don't buy it. I
So
don't.
if he's
as a rule of thumb, I don't buy it.
So if he's healthy enough to, I'm saying situationally right now, so if he's healthy enough to pitch in limited roles but not start full games, would you rather just say, nah, Corey, come back to us when you're fully ready, or would you rather like Joely Rodriguez
Start him.
or him? Start him
Start
for
him.
what,
He's
just
gonna-
a minimal time?
Listen,
Start him
if
for
he's-
2 innings and then do what you were going to do after it.
All right, I'm with that.
Chandler,
Perfect,
first of all, I've never agreed with you more, Chandler. If
Thank you.
you're gonna get 2 innings out of Kluber, you might as well start him for 2 innings and then go to Nestor, and then you got 4, then go to the bullpen, then do whatever else.
But regardless,
I don't see him coming out of the bullpen. If he's healthy enough to come out of the bullpen, then he's healthy enough to start for 2 innings at least.
Okay, then but regardless, that makes those other relievers the odd man out because you're keeping him on for 2 innings. Those 2 innings, whether they're at the beginning of the game
Yeah, so that
or
probably
whether
won't
they're
happen.
coming out of the bullpen, does changes nothing for my argument right now. I'm saying there are going to be some mainstay, well, not mainstay, but the relievers that we've been seeing a ton of that are not going to be on the playoff roster. This kind of got derailed a little bit. This is a little bit further ahead. I just wanted to point that out that these relievers are kind of in a tryout right now.
I think
so.
I think the main takeaway though is like I don't think we're just gonna stack our bullpen with half healthy starters. That's the main point.
Yes.
We're not gonna do that. I don't
I
think we
agree.
should do that. That's stupid.
I would be very surprised to see either Kluber or Sevy coming out of the bullpen on any playoff roster, like for any of the series, and I would be downright shocked if both of them were.
yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, Sevy maybe because he's done it before, but definitely not Kluber.
I don't know.
Kluber's
He
like-
hasn't pitched in like forever. That's a whole different conversation.
We'll see.
but
Either
whatever.
way,
maybe they won't.
you
Both
wanna
of
know-
them might not be healthy at all. So
Real quick, a sneaky name that I thought had a shot out of the bullpen in the playoffs, Steven Ridings, not Ridlings, Ridings, got
Yeah,
sent
you got
down,
sent him down.
which I thought that was weird. I
Yeah,
just
he's
don't.
been great.
Why?
he could be
He
brought back up. You don't know.
I just don't know why you sent him down, though. He provides so much value.
They
Like,
just play that game, dude.
Is Nick Nelson still on the roster?
Nick Nelson just got
no,
sent
he
down.
got
I
sent
think
down.
he's
Thank
Just
you.
got sent down like yesterday.
We had an
He
awesome
got sent down
sweep
with
off the
that
Sun.
center fielder that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Jonathan fucking Davis. Yeah,
Who
they
the
both
hell's
got
that?
sent down.
He's on the Sun.
Exactly.
He's on the Sun.
He's on
Yeah,
the Sun.
He is on the
How
Sun.
So
long?
is-
Would he have 2 games? He's on the Sun.
Yeah.
He
has-
dude,
No,
he
he
was
was-
1 for 20.
Oh, he was up that long.
He was 1 for 20 with like 10 Ks, and his one hit was like a bloop single in his very first at
So
bat.
why was he up
found the
instead
hit.
of Greg Allen? That has to
I
be
don't
like
know.
some roster.
Let's
Was
move on to
Greg
the
Allen
next
taken
person.
off the 40 man? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck him.
RT Dunphy on Instagram says lasagna is the closer. I don't want to see Chapman close any more games. I'll defer to Chandler on this one because he's the biggest Loazga closer guy on the planet.
And before Chandler goes,
So I'll defer to Damon then.
no, I just want to give Chandler credit for being the first person to call out the Loazga
Thank
closer
you,
role.
Damon.
And now Chandler, the mic is yours.
Well, first of all, Damon, thank you very much. As somebody
Now
who's been
introducing the guy who called it.
as somebody who's been on this train since I don't know March. I would like
Clip
to.
it,
I would like
bitch.
to. I agree.
It wasn't
Honestly,
March. Come on.
It was
It was.
March.
It was a while ago.
March?
I think it was. In
It was
his
a
roll
long
call.
time
It
ago.
might have been his roll call.
Oh, get the fuck. Oh,
I-
it might have been.
we can
actually,
find the
you're
clip
right.
of him
Damn.
saying,
Yeah.
No,
No,
it
you're
wasn't.
right. No,
it was
no, no,
after
it
the
was-
first. It was after the first like 2 weeks where he was like .01 ERA. And I was like,
No,
I'm
that was
telling
the
you
episode-
Right now, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna groom him to be the next closer, and then you guys are,
No, yeah.
oh, ow.
Now that you said
Ow.
groom, now that you say the word groom him to be, then
That's what he said specifically. That was
Exactly.
That
verbatim.
clicked.
now
But,
that was the
uh,
click. It
Yeah,
was
but to
groom.
answer your question, I agree, but it's not gonna happen. Like again, it's like heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's better. I would rather have him closing a playoff game. If it came down, like push comes to shove, Game 7, ALCS. Allow me to Bob Ross paint the picture for you. Game 7, ALCS, Yankees, Astros. Who's closing the game? It's gonna be Chapman. But who do you feel more comfortable with? Me personally, I feel more comfortable with Loaizaga, and that's not because I'm a Loaizaga stan. It's just he's got at this point in the year. In his career, based on what I've seen, he's just got the better stuff, and he's got more confidence than Chapman does right now, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing going into a postseason series.
I'm a Loazga stan.
I mean, here's the thing. What happened? Was it
Bandwagon.
yesterday? Was it yesterday that Chapman came in for like 2 batters or whatever? it was?
2/3 of an inning.
And
Yeah.
with that, I wanted to give credit to Boone on that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, but yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Then you say it.
No, I was gonna bring up
You
the
guys wanna say it together?
conversation.
We can say
All
it
right, 1,
together.
2, 3 now. I was gonna bring up the conversation to say it's crazy that it's crazy to think that like for the first time ever, Boone actually made a ballsy call, and it paid off. You know, I think we talked about it before. Like, he didn't just make the call that he was supposed to make and then just sit back and let it play out. He actually made a call and then went back on his word and made the right call to take him out because he didn't have it. And
Yeah,
that was the first time we've ever seen that.
And I think with that too, I think the what Boone usually does is the easy decision that won't be flogged for like in the town square.
It's like not my problem anymore.
The easy decision would have been by the book would be like keep your closer in. And he realized that he didn't have it, especially noticing that he came off the IL that day. He probably could have used a rehab start, but I don't think Chapman has literally ever had a rehab start in his entire career with the Yankees. Like, I genuinely believe that he's had 0. But he probably could have used one. He looked very wild for a guy who was already wild coming off the IL. And that's just props to Boone because he didn't have it that night. You bring in Litke, and Litke closes the door, and he played for the win. And usually he just plays to not get torn apart in the media. Yeah.
Not even the media, in trouble with like Cashman and the computer nerds. How much? I mean, Cashman had to be on the next fucking not subway because he you know what I mean. He had to be like sprinting to the stadium to go castrate Boone if that went south, because that is definitely not what the computer said to do.
So that actually brings me to the next rounding third from Mario Gomez 20.
Amazing segue.
So he said Boone has saved his job no matter how the season ends, unfortunately.
Incorrect.
Highly debatable.
That's what we're debating right here.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason.
Oh, is that what we do? Is that what we do here? We debate things?
Yeah.
You should
no. Boone is gone. Unless they win the World Series, which I think it was Dan Federico said this team has the look. They're starting to have the look. But unless that happens, no, Boone's canned. There's no way. They can't Girardi for way less than Boone has made an absolute mockery of himself too many times to save his job, unless they at the bare minimum make it to the World Series and compete.
So that's the thing. I think make it to the World Series is the cutoff. And we didn't can Girardi. He just wanted like $8 million a year, and they didn't give him that.
Didn't they fire him in the middle of his contract?
No, I think they just didn't extend him.
I thought he had a year left.
He knew too much.
He knew too much.
I don't know. I mean, I could have sworn that we just didn't resign him. But either way, regardless,
I think they fired him.
Either way, if they fired Girardi,
we kind of
jury's
talked
out
about
on that one.
I think Boone still may be gone if we don't make the.
If we make the World Series,
and
then they're gonna.
I think it might be
make the World Series.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Win the American League pennant. Yes, he stays.
Still 42 games left. He could look historically bad for the rest of the way, or he could look like a genius for the rest of the way. And this conversation completely changes.
Do you think that?
So
let me ask you this, do you think that winning the AL East has any weight? Like if we scrape into the second wild card spot and then make it to the World Series, he's still fine.
So
as opposed to, well, no. So here, say there are two scenarios. Do you think he stays or leaves for either one? Either we run the table, win the AL East, get bounced in the divisional round, or slide back a little from where we are, make the second wild card spot, and then lose in the World Series. Does he stay for both?
No. So the only scenario he stays is World Series, or the front office is just so out of touch and they just don't care because he's such a puppet. They keep him because he'll do everything they say and not throw up any whatever. And if they do fire him, I still think it's just because he's their fall boy for all that.
Agreed. Time will tell. Moving on to the next one from Justin Twitchy Michelson. We kind of talked about this before, but he says Anthony Velasquez should continue to start even when Gleyber gets back. I'm going to just go ahead and quickly sell that one. That one is just not going to happen. We touched on that at the beginning. I just wanted to give him the shout out because we appreciate the question. Good question, too. We just happened to use it. It is a good question. We just happened to use it as a segment earlier on because Velasquez is exciting to talk about. So next one from Four Train Savages. Shout out. Also good Yankees podcast, so go check them out. Return of bobblehead night saved the Yankee season. I 100,000,000% agree with this. The night that I don't know if it was the first one, but was it the Cole Top Gun bobblehead night? Was that the one that turned the season around?
August 6th, I think. August 6th.
I mean, since then we've been literally the best team in baseball.
Yep.
So
Not
Also,
expensive.
great bobblehead.
And there's more bobbleheads on the way. Actually, with that bobblehead,
How much would you pay for that bobblehead?
I was about to say I did pay because I got there late because my friend Jin was, or you know Jin. The people don't know Jin, but he was late and we had to show up like in the middle of the first. And on that game, I think they were playing, might have been the Rays. So it was a good game. And those bobbleheads, now that the Yankees are good again,
How much do you want for the bobblehead?
They give it away to the first like 20,000 and then they're done. So I was fucked. I ended up finding this boyfriend and girlfriend. They're sitting next to me. We're in like the Pepsi lounge, the one in center field behind the glass that I didn't
Nice
think
brag.
I didn't. Well, they
Humble
just
brag.
come with like cheap seats.
No, that's not even a humble brag. That's every game that Rel has been to this year.
It's my favorite spot to go to. Might actually go there tomorrow. But I was sitting there. I saw these two people sitting next to me. The boyfriend clearly wanted the bobblehead. She got one too, obviously, because she walked in with him. And when he went up to go to the bathroom, I was like, "Hey," I basically said, "I know you don't want that. I'll buy it off you." And she was like, "Oh, really? I'll just give it to you." I was like, "No. I'll just give you what, $20?" She's like, "Oh, absolutely." She just got her ticket paid for. So $20 was my number, Murphy, and I'm not selling it to you. So next rounding third comes to us from, I don't know the name. Sorry, I screenshotted it without the name. Just like Tyone, Heaney will settle into his spot
No.
on the
Bye.
Yankees.
No.
You bought that?
No, absolutely fucking
just
not.
said- you said bye.
Heaney is. I
Check
did
the
not say
tape.
bye.
Check the tape.
No, fuck no. Heaney's gone the minute that Kluber comes back. Honestly, Heaney might be gone now. Like, or Domingo, anybody, anytime any pitcher comes back, Heaney's gone, and for good reason. Good
Yeah.
riddance.
I really don't want to see Heaney throw another.
Go out on
start.
top, man. Go out on top.
Yeah.
Retire, honestly. It's not getting any better from here.
You just threw the game of your life.
No,
Just
he would
retire.
be. He's a classic pitcher that I could see pitching on the Athletics.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he might very well go to the Athletics if we cut him,
I could see him going to another like a
or
Lance
the Angels
Lynn.
because he was on the Angels. He's just like the classic bad pitcher on the Angels. Like the Angels always have bad pitching because guys like Heaney are always in the rotation. So
I don't even care. He could throw a perfect game on top of what he did last time. I would still say he would not be off the sun.
is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I feel like we covered a lot here. The Voit Rizzo thing, the Wandy bump. Loaisiga has balls of steel. Heaney Sun situation was just for not taking him off the Sun.
Josh
Ryan
Donaldson
Thirds.
played really well.
Josh
again
Donaldson
against the Yankees.
sucks. Luis Heel, another great start.
Carabas on the Sun.
Carabas on the Sun. Sevi, no structural damage. Oh, one last thing that I wanted to talk about was the new prospect rankings came out, and Volpe was ahead of the Martian, which I thought was interesting.
And he
Yeah,
hit a
that's wild.
walk-off home run today.
Volpe?
And he had
Yeah.
an excellent bat flip.
And yeah, it was smooth as hell. All one
was
motion.
Yeah, Volpe's
As David would
15.
say, it is smooth as hell.
Volpe was 15, and the Martian was 17.
He's 15.
That's really high.
He wasn't even in the top 100.
Well, yeah, he was.
No,
Yeah,
I
he
thought
was.
Martian.
The
It was
Martian-
Martian,
the
Clark
Martian was in the
Schmidt, and then who?
50s, I feel like.
No, he was 32. And
Well,
then
they both got moved up.
and then Clark Schmidt was 80 something, and then I don't even think Volpe was in the
I
top
think
100.
Volpe was in like
Yeah, you're
I think
right.
he was 63. I'm going 63.
Well, he's 15
I don't-
now.
I don't
He's
think he
lighting it
was.
up. He's lighting it up.
No, I know. It's a great thing. I'm glad he's ahead of the Martian even because obviously everybody knows what he's going to be a number one
We're gonna
prospect.
see him
at some
before.
point.
We're gonna see him
So
before
it's good for
Dominguez.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
actually gonna look
rightfully
up,
so.
I'm gonna look up his
Dominguez
stats
is-
right now.
we're gonna see Dominguez in like
There-
2025 or some shit.
He is in single A though. Keep in mind.
No, he
but
won't. Yeah, he's going to be a role player behind Brett Gardner in 2020.
who is?
Dominguez.
Brett Gardner's on his 11th one-year deal.
Yeah, Brett
No,
Gardner's
it's like
making
those-
$7 million to be a fourth outfielder and start 151 games.
It's like Tom Brady, but not
Yeah.
nearly as good.
Yeah,
I made that reference one time in one of his roll calls. Remember? I said Brett Gardner is the Tom Brady of New York. I can check the tape. I said
just
that.
not good.
I forget how I got to that, but it was really funny how I
know.
got to it.
Be like Tom
Maybe
Brady
he should
if
be
he
like Tom Brady and go to Tampa Bay.
Just take my word for it. Yeah, you should go to Tampa Bay.
That would
Bay
hurt,
Tampa Bay would
honestly.
actually. You think?
Oh
it would
no,
hurt?
I guarantee if he went to Tampa Bay, he would hit 320 with like
No, he wouldn't.
14 home runs and like
Could you
30 stolen
imagine
bases.
how big of hops he would get on that turf with his swing? He would just hit like a little ball that slaps and dunks in the outfield and just bounce over outfielders' heads, and he'd just hit 45 triples.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, did you see how little fans they had at the game yesterday or today?
Didn't they have
Because
4,000?
That's
it was
weird.
four-
That's
it was
weird because they usually have
4,000.
so many fans.
Shut the fuck up. No, but
What do
like,
you expect?
no, and they were playing the
No,
Orioles
they
too,
set a
but
record low.
record low, like 4,000. I was watching the highlights, and I shit you not, I have seen more people at like the Quinnipiac baseball game when we used to go.
Like
to
Glens
them.
Falls Civic Center, we get like 5,500 at the ECHL games, baby.
Oh yeah, hey,
East Coast Hockey League.
the junior
hell yeah.
hockey league. We go see him play.
Oh, they're not juniors. It's like AA baseball.
BYOB.
ECHL.
I can't
Is that
Dollar
where
beers
the
on
BYOB?
Fridays.
Oh, it's
Dollar
Is that
dollar
where the
Bush
beers,
Pensacola Ice
Dollar
Flyers
Bush
are?
Lights on Fridays, buddy. Let me tell you, that's a sellout crowd.
Oh boy.
They have dollar beer and dollar dog night here at the Charleston River Dogs. It's fucking awesome, and you can bring your dog to the park because it's dollar dog night. How fun!
It's funny.
I just thought it was so funny too because I saw it was like Nelson Cruz's first home run in the Trop, which congratulations by the way to you, Nelson Cruz. Big accomplishment. Glad you didn't hit the catwalk, but like when you see the ball go to the outfield, it's just so funny that you see the swarm of people going after it, and the fact that they have the ability to run like up and down the aisles to go find the ball. Like nobody was in the area of the ball, and they all ran to it from like the other section.
The guy that got the ball was like sitting behind the first base dugout.
He was three
just, like,
sections.
going all
Yeah,
the way around.
he was like, I just love it. I just hope they lose some games because
Dude, like, why are they so good? They can't even get people like. Oh, it's such a waste.
It is
Like,
a waste.
you
If
know,
that
why
team
can't
was
the
in like
Angels
Nashville or
be that good or
something, they
something?
would be
Or, yeah.
fucking just packed out every night.
Or like, anywhere else.
It's sad
Like,
too because Tampa's
Omaha,
actually
Nebraska.
badass. As a
Somewhere.
foursome that has been to Tampa all together at the same time, I think we can agree that was a pretty great time. I would go to a Tampa game if I lived there. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
but they don't. Well, they got to.
No.
Isn't it in St. Pete's?
Yeah, it's way the fuck out of the
So
way.
like, yeah,
it's
that's
in the
why.
middle of nowhere too.
Like,
Fucking
would
Florida,
you
man.
drive an hour to sit in a garbage can that seats 45,000 people? Probably not.
True.
No, I wouldn't. Again, like I said, and I'll say till the day I die, my best experience at Tropicana, and I've been multiple times, was getting cheese fries from the Outback stand when I was like 9. Absolutely electric.
clip that. That's
And
good
that
clip.
was a game that Carl Crawford played in and signed my glove, and
Carl
the cheese fries were
Crawford,
still
wow.
Do you still have the glove?
What a name.
somewhere, but it's faded because it was when he was like a rookie. I was like, who the fuck's this Carl Crawford guy? I'm gonna keep playing baseball with it, and it's faded.
This feels like the conversations we have when we hit end record, and I love it.
We're still
I hope
recording?
I hope the people enjoy this part.
Last thing I will say, baseball like relevant to Yankees is stolen bases. Just trying to bring it up real quick.
We talked about that.
Oh,
already.
Did we?
And it's
no, we
continuing to happen. Yeah.
Well, we had the most stolen bases
Yeah.
since like the All-Star break or something.
30.
Since the All-Star break.
Did you see?
Which is
We
sick.
saw the graphic today.
Yeah.
That showed both. It was
and
like,
we were the
for
fewest
the
before
first
that.
half of the season, we had the least stolen bases. I think we had 12, and then the second half we have like 30, which is the most in the majors.
Pretty sure like
which is
11 of
sick.
them were Tyler Wade too.
which is sick.
Greg Allen had like 7.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
Sad.
See,
Tyler Wade's
one-
like 17 for 20.
Yeah, one last thing that I want to talk about that, which a little bit concerns me because I do love the stolen base aspect of baseball, but like the guys that are getting it are Greg Allen, are Tyler Wade, are Velasquez.
Dude, Glaber had a
The
couple.
occasional
Gleyber
led the team in
Judge
stolen
is stealing, DJ's stealing too. I don't know how DJ's stealing, but he is.
DJ looks like he's
Must get a
running
really
quicksand.
good jump.
He has to get a huge jump.
I
'cause
mean, he had
DJ
an amazing
runs-
jump the other day and got thrown out. So.
Yeah.
runs like a Scooby Doo, just runs in place, and somehow he ends up on second. And
He runs-
Velasquez looked like he got the biggest jump ever, and he almost got thrown out today. I don't know how that happened, but one
Bullshit. He beat that out by 45 seconds. It looked like Tap Sports Baseball. Like he slid, and then the guy like was standing up, and
That's
the
how
guy
I
caught
thought it was gonna go down, but it was closer than I thought it was gonna be. But regardless,
Dude, you were watching it.
my point is that I am a little concerned that when Gio and other guys come back, that whole momentum we built in terms of stealing bases is just gonna be erased because we're not gonna have those guys anymore.
I think it's the mentality that I think I like more.
I agree, Damon. I agree. I think they're gonna keep trying it. Even if they get thrown out, who gives a fuck? At least try it.
That matters if we.
I would care a little bit, yeah.
Well, I would get.
Yeah, but just as long as he's
all
not
right,
listening to the
look.
nerds, where it's not like statistically safe to steal a base at certain times, like throw that out the
Gleyber is
window.
our
We're
best
winning
base
games
stealer.
and stealing bases.
You don't need to be a
Fine.
nerd to know
Keep
not to
doing it.
send Gary Sanchez. Like I don't want to see
Oh shit!
Gary running.
If it's a pass ball, I don't want to see him moving. Like
I would like to see Gallo steal.
I hardly
Gallo
want to
can
see
steal.
Gary Sanchez move up a base on a home run. Like he should. Gary Sanchez should get softball rules. If it's a home run, you should go back to the dugout. Let's
who do you
sit
think's
down.
faster, Aaron Boone or Gary Sanchez?
Aaron Boone.
No, I'm dead
No,
serious.
without hesitation.
If
Aaron
they
Boone
had to run a
backwards.
60, if they had to run a 60 tomorrow,
I think Aaron Boone.
who's faster?
I think Aaron
Aaron
Boone.
Boone.
You really think so?
I think it's.
You know
close. I
what they
think
should
it's
do? They
close,
should
though.
do a little like you know how to do like the subway race at the stadium.
Yeah.
It's like we should have like Aaron Boone, Gary Sanchez, and like fucking DJ or some shit.
You know what we should do
And Brett
is if
Gardner,
we
because he
ever
probably wants to just
Tyler Wade, but like wearing a
if
mascot
we ever
costume.
play
the Frozone
in,
guy from the Braves.
Damn it, fuck you. I was gonna say if we ever play in that's the Nationals guy. If we ever
Yeah,
or maybe
my
it's the
bad.
Braves. Whatever.
I thought it
Whoever
was
it
the
is.
Braves too.
I think it
Might
is
be the Braves.
Braves.
All right.
Oh, the
Oh well
Nationals
we
is the
play
Presidents.
Yeah,
You're right.
Anyway.
So we play at the Braves next week. I want to see Gary get the center field head start and then go against Frozone as a pro athlete.
He would get whooped.
He would also
actually get whooped.
I think if Gary Sanchez tried to sprint for that long, he would be like Tanaka and tear both hamstrings.
I'm pretty sure the Frozone guy can run faster than Brett Gardner can throw.
I think he was actually an Olympic
Still
athlete.
like 11 miles an hour.
11 miles per hour isn't like slow to run, is it?
It's pretty damn slow.
I know, yeah. Usain Bolt ran
for a
like
sprint.
27 miles an
Okay,
hour.
All right, that's the
Bolt is
fastest
Usain
guy in the
Bolt.
world.
All right, yeah, but like
You just
compared to
compare-
11, compared to
You're saying,
11,
Gary
I watched
Sanchez.
I watched Reggie Bush score a
Different-
touchdown for the Saints that ran 21. So
You're
yeah, like
naming
Tyreek
people
Hill
that
hit like
aren't-
23.
These aren't Gary Sanchez. You're naming
Gary
the
San-
fastest
Dude,
people
I
to
could-
ever to do sports.
Yeah, but it's
Gary's
10 miles
not
an hour
that.
faster than what you're talking about.
yeah,
Dude, everybody can run 11 miles an hour except for maybe Gary Sanchez.
as somebody who's
Everybody
been
else.
on a
That's what
treadmill
we're
like
talking
4
about.
times in my life, I've cranked it up to 10 miles an hour and did it.
31.
I don't know, Gary just looks like he has
Yeah, yeah.
Gary just looks like he has a parachute on when he's running. Like one
Yeah.
of those training parachutes. It just looks like he's perpetually got the parachute. I think while we were just talking about this, by the way, this is awesome content. I hope people I hope people stuck around to the end here and just if you
We
enjoyed
should
this,
just cut out the first hour and just start like,
yeah.
now.
If you enjoyed
Do a
this,
little inception.
if you
start at the
enjoyed this and
beginning.
you made it this far, I think we've earned a 5-star rating on iTunes. So if you could definitely give us that, I'll eat a baseball for you free. No, I won't. If we get 263. But I think we did just find out what Velasquez's role is going to be on this team, even though he probably won't play on the team. I think he's just going to be our Frozone guy.
Honestly, I just want him on the bench. Like, I
In
just want
the
to be
show.
He can hang out on the bench too, and then
Yeah, wait.
after that, he will just be the Frozone guy in the 7th inning stretch. Like fuck the YMCA. No, I like the YMCA. That's a lie.
Do you
But,
think
like,
they'll let him just sit on the bench if he's not a part of the roster? Like he can't,
I don't think
can't
they
play.
can.
He's not eligible.
No, they
but he
can't
can just
do
sit
that.
on the bench.
Sevy
He just
sits
be
on the
there.
bench.
He'd be the best ball boy ever. He'd run so fast.
That's what they
We
should do.
need-
They should have
we
him
need
fake an
guys
injury
like that
and
to
put
just
him on
be
the IL.
bench.
We
put him on the
Ruby.
IL.
We got Rugi, but like guys like that, like they energize the team.
Can I just say too, this is an obvious thing, and I think Chandler was the first person to love Rugi, but like Rugi, he's just like my favorite.
Remember how confused we were when he
So
when they signed
Stankman
him?
didn't stick. We didn't like that.
Was that your nickname for him?
Because Odor's is.
What'd you call him?
Stankman.
No,
I think
I,
that's
I brought that
probably-
up a while ago, but we were upset about it. I liked
That's
it.
too much of a
One of my
dad
friends
joke.
told
Too
me
much of
it.
a dad
I thought it was
joke.
funny.
If you put
All
that on a
right,
shirt,
fuck all of
I
you.
think
I
would
thought it
owe-
was funny.
If you put that on a shirt, I think you would owe money.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a dad
I don't
joke.
think it was that bad.
I liked it.
Murphy. Don't let it.
Thank
I
you,
think,
Chandler.
I
I
think three
appreciate
people
that.
would buy it, and they'd all be 50-year-old fathers.
All right, well, it's not a shirt joke. It's a
It's a
nickname.
shirt for your uncle.
all of you.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck all of you.
If
I
I,
like
was
it.
his uncle, I'd wear it, and I'd laugh at it to my nephew.
Well, you know what? Someday you will be.
All right.
Then you'll appreciate
All
it.
right, yeah, I think
That's
we've
about it.
we've had enough nonsense in the back end of this show. I want to go to bed. Honestly, I was tired before recording this, and now I'm just not.
I can fall asleep in a second.
Good, because you're posting the podcast tonight. See you guys later.